Good morning, I'm Bee, and this is my YouTube channel, The Fuzzy Knitting Bee. Okay, so this is the first podcast of my channel. I originally said I wasn't going to do a podcast. The only reason being is I didn't feel like I would have enough finished projects and enough whips to actually be able to have one of these until I got to thinking, what if I did it at the end of every season? So this is spring 2025. In my very first episode, we will be talking about what I have been working on this spring, things that I have finished this spring, things that I've gotten this spring, and probably a bunch of random other things. So grab a nice cozy drink, get that lovely project that you are currently working on, get somewhere comfortable, and let's talk about the finished projects. Okay, so this first one is one that I absolutely adore. It is one of my favorites, and that is the lovely Mohair sweater by Fiber Tales. This one I just absolutely adore, and if you've watched some of my other videos, either I've talked about it or I'm wearing it in the video. I just adore this sweater. It is one of my favorites. I really enjoyed knitting it, even though when I first casted it on, I casted it on 3 or 4 times because I couldn't get the stitch count correct. And the funny thing is, it starts at the top. It's top-down sweater. It's not like I'm casting on all the stitches at the bottom. It was just the top. It took forever. I don't know what was wrong with me, why I couldn't cast it on. Really simple cast on, but for whatever reason, I couldn't get it casted on. Okay, so one thing to keep in mind if you do knit this sweater is the cables that you knit in the pattern are actually reversed from how she has it in the original photo. The original ones actually look more like that. And when you finish the project, it looks more like this. So just switch them. It's the smallest little detail, but I actually like them in reverse. I don't know why. It just gives it a softer look, I feel like. But just to keep that in mind, if you look at hers and you look at yours and you go, there's something wrong here, that's the only reason. That's the only reason. I noticed a few other people talking about that. And some people did go back and switch the direction that they were knitting the cables. I did not. I actually really like how it looks this way a lot better. So yeah. So this pattern, I would say it's 10 out of 10. I really enjoyed knitting it. It was a lot of fun. I didn't modify it in any way. I didn't have to. It just knits up really pretty. And the pattern was fairly easy to understand. I really enjoyed it. I probably knit it again. I always get compliments when I wear this sweater. It's one of my favorite sweaters. It is so cute. I can't wait till fall comes so I can start wearing it again. I can wear it inside during the summer, but it's just way too hot to be able to wear it out. But it's one of my favorite sweaters. I really enjoyed this project. Okay, so I do actually have a funny story behind this, and it makes me love the sweater even more, and it's because of the name. So the Mohair sweater, I was thinking maybe the mushrooms, because, you know, it's got that texture, and this texture that kind of looks like the texture of the mushroom, but then I had somebody in my comments, and they were like, I was so confused why you were talking about mushrooms until I realized it was a type of mushroom. And they were like, I'm Dutch. It could also be the cherries because it is a Danish knitwear designer. And you know what? That makes a lot more sense. And I love it because they were confused. I was confused. I really did not know why it was called the Mohair sweater. And now I love it even more. And it was such a sweet comment. I absolutely love, it's probably one of my favorite comments on my channel so far. But I love this sweater. It is one of my favorites. I really enjoy knitting it. But yeah, on to the next. Okay, so this project also kind of has a story that's kind of silly to me now. So this is a vanilla pair of socks that I made for my mom. I didn't have a pattern for them. They're kind of self-drafted. They're a self-striping yarn. This is the West Yorkshire Spinner's Signature 4-ply in the colorway Wood Pigeon. And I always call these the pigeon socks. They are some of my favorite socks that are just vanilla socks. I think they're so cute. I really love how it's self-striped. I think it's a really cute pair of socks. So I was making these for her to take on a trip, and I was knitting them as fast as possible. And it was about an hour or two after she left, I completely finished the socks. So yeah, they were not done in time. But I did get them done, and she has worn them and enjoyed them since. I really like how these turned out. I thought it was really cute. I did this kind of, I forget the name of the heel. I'll put it like right here. But I think it's really cute. It's just one of my favorite vanilla pair of socks that I've made. But yeah. Okay, so this is another pair of self-striping socks that I actually made for myself, and I used this really cool heel technique that you basically create this diamond shape with the sock. Continue working the round so you don't mess with how the color is working up with the self-striping, and it creates this little heel. And it's really nice because if you have like a wider ankle or even like a longer heel, it will fit a little bit more loose around there. So it will be a little bit more comfortable. And then you also don't have to work as long of a foot because you continue working in the round as you're working on the heel. I really enjoy this heel, and it's probably one that I'm going to do with all my self-striping yarn now. I really enjoyed it. I will link the video down below. It's really well explained, really easy heel, by the way. I really enjoyed this one, especially if you don't like the slip stitch heels. This one is really nice. So yeah, I really enjoyed this project. Okay, so this next project is one that I'm absolutely obsessed with. It is the Little Duckling by Claire Garland. I made it using leftover yarn. I had some Sandnes Garn Sunday and Sandnes Garn Silk Mohair. And it's so adorable. I'm not quite sure what the orange yarn is. It's some that I just had, but it's one of my favorite projects. I think it is so adorable. I have it sitting in my china cabinet, and it just brings me joy every time that I look at it. It's so cute. I love a lot of her patterns. They're really well written. They have great detail put into them. I've knitted the frog, Mr. Toad, Mr. Badger, Mr. Mole, and this duckling, and I honestly want to knit some more. I also have some of the other patterns, and one that I really want to knit soon is the raccoon. I really want to knit that one. I think that one's so cute, but I'm obsessed with this one. It's so cute and fuzzy. Look at it. It's so cute. Okay, so this next one is one that I finished fairly recently, and that is the pressed flower kerchief. I knitted this honestly out of curiosity if I would enjoy the pressed flower patterns, because I haven't done a lot of color work. So I've pretty much only stuck with like stranded color work and stuff like that, or really simple like color changes every few rows or something like that. But I can say I really did enjoy this pattern. I think it's super cute. I wear this like all the time. It is one of my favorite ones. I really love how the colors also worked up together. This really pale yellow and this really lovely blue. Like, I really like how this worked up. It was so cute. A lot of fun to knit. I really enjoyed it. And now I want to knit some more of the other pressed flower patterns. I think either the socks or the cardigan will be next. But we'll have to wait and see. I also have to get the yarn for it. So it might be a little bit, probably fall or winter time. But really cute. I really enjoy this pattern. One of my favorites. Okay, so this is the last finished object, and it's actually holding a current project, so it will lead us over into whips. And that is the Dahlia Drawstring Bag by Brianna Mason. I really enjoyed knitting this project. It is such a cute bag. I actually did change two things. I added, I think, 20 more stitches than it originally called for casting on, and I also extended how long it was because I added some extra stitches. but it is a really cute project. I really enjoyed it, and is one of my favorite ones. And now let's move over to whips. Okay, so starting with whips, I'm going to start with the one that's in this bag, and this is the Sophie Shawl by Petite Knits. I am using yarn from Hillside Farms. I'm using this really pretty brown and this really pretty green, and I'm just kind of switching it when I feel like switching the color, and I think that's actually working because it's working up really, really pretty. I have knitted 3 of these so far, and this is going to be the 4th, but I think it's really cute. I'm making this one for my mom. She picked out the colors, and I really love how they go together. Like, I think that is so cute. But yeah, moving on to next. So I actually have a few projects for my mom right now, and it's kind of funny the amount that I do that I am working on. And this is actually another pair of vanilla socks. There's not much to talk about this. It's Melabrio yarn in the colorway Dewberry, and it's so cute. Really love the color. They're going to be vanilla socks. I'm going to do the diamond shaped heel. That's really the only thing I'm going to do with these. But a really cute project. Once again, another one for my mom. It is really funny. We were talking about it the other day. I have a lot of projects for her right now. Okay, so this next one is another pair of socks for my mom. And it is a pair from 52 Weeks of Socks. I have worked on these in another video. And they're a really fun pattern because the lace starts moving around the sock until it gets to the front. And it's really pretty how it works up. I really enjoyed it. The only thing I have to say about this pattern that I find is a little odd is the heel is just stockinette stitch. That's how the heel works up. It's not a slip stitch heel. And so I don't know how it's gonna hold up. If it doesn't, I can always mend it, but it's looking really cute. I really like it so far. I am on the foot of the second sock, and I'm going to pick these up. I'm going to the beach soon, so I'm going to probably pick these up after I get back from the beach, but they're working up really cute. Okay, so this next one is also for my mom. It is the Ingrid sweater by Petite Knits. I have worked on one of these before. I really enjoyed this pattern. I modified it a little bit with the neck and accidentally changed how the diamonds are on the body, but I ended up liking how it worked. But it's a really cute pattern. I really enjoyed this one. I haven't worked on it a lot since the last video I was working on it in, but I think I worked like a row or 2. But I am going to pick it back up once again after I get back from the beach. But I love how it's working up. Super cute. But yeah. This is the Ingrid sweater by Petite Knits. So I realize I have a lot of projects for my mom right now, which kind of makes me laugh because a lot of times I just tend to knit for myself, except at Christmas time. But right now I just have a lot of projects that I'm working on for my mom. I'm actually working on another dolly bag. I'm casting it on right now. I'm using this yarn, and I'm going to do it how I did mine, where I used 2 different types of yarn, but that still go together. So it's going to be this green and this kind of stripy type yarn. I think it's really cute, but we got this at Hobby Lobby the other day, and I think it's going to be a really cute bag. And the last project for my mom that I'm working on is this cute little frog. I mentioned it earlier. It has gone missing. I got to figure out where I put it. But I have one arm finished, and I got to finish the other arm and both the legs, and the frog will be done. And I'm also going to make this really cute little dress for it. I got to figure out what pattern to use, but it's going to be really cute. But this is the frog. That's what I'm making. Here's the information about it. But it's a really fun project. Okay, so this next one is another one that I've talked about in here, and that is the Garden Tulip Shawl by Afifa. I am using Queenland's collection Rainbow Beach in the colorway Canary, but it's looking really cute. I haven't worked on it a whole lot recently, so I want to pick this one up again soon. It is going to be adorable when it's finished, so I really should get back to working on it because I can't wait to wear it. Okay, so this is the last knitting whip, and this is the Daydreamer Cardigan by Veronica Lindberg. I'm using Lion Brand's Wool Ease. I really love how this is working up. I'm really enjoying this one. I am going to actually slip this project, though, off on to another pair of needles or something because I actually need it for another project that I'm going to be working on while I'm at the beach. But I'm really enjoying this one. I'm going to work on it just a little bit more, which is actually next week's video. So definitely come back, and we are going to be working on this one a little bit more. Okay, so this section's kind of small, so I'm going to do this all together, but starting with the first finished project, which is this lovely hank of yarn. This is a 50-50 superwash merino and bamboo. It was kind of a challenge for myself. I'm still very new to spinning, but I mean, I think it turned out all right. I still think it's really pretty. You know, it's got its little parts that are a little thicker than others and parts that might be a little bit thinner than others, but I think it actually turned out to be a really pretty yarn. And I had this little leftover on one of the bobbins, so I'm probably gonna knit a swatch with this just to see how it looks when it's knitted up, but it looks really cute. I really love it. Technically, I finished this one in winter, but it was like the day before spring, so I'm counting it as a spring project. But I really love how this one turned out. Okay, so starting with my spinning projects, I have my drop spindle projects. I really don't remember what fiber this is. It's from a sheep. I remember that. There was also a photo of a sheep, and I remember it being really cute. But I got this one a while back at the Blue Ridge Fiber Fest that takes place in Sparta, North Carolina. And it's really, really cute, really, really soft. It's not perfect because I've picked this one up off and on for a long time now. But, you know, it's just kind of one of those fun little projects. I don't know. It's fun. And this is actually a rolag that I made in a class that I took at one of the Fiber Fests that I've gone to, and I wanted to see what it looked like spun up. So that's what I'm working on in here. I think it's really cute. Definitely some interesting colors mixed in here. I got some pinks, some purples. I think there's a little yellow in here. I don't remember exactly. It's been a while since I did this one, but really fun project. And then on my e-spitter, here is the finished bobbin of the Cormo wool that I'm working on. I forget the name of the colorway. If I still have the tag, I'll put it up here. If not, I don't remember. I'm very, very sorry. But it's really, really pretty. I love how it's spinning up. Definitely improving since this one. But yeah, I think it's turning out to be some pretty yarn. Okay, so moving on to some stuff that I got recently. I got this Nitty Naughty off of Amazon. It's like a really, really thick plastic. So I didn't want to get a 3D printed one because I've heard those break really easy, but I also wanted one that was kind of more of a cheaper price because they can get really, really expensive. And even though I do want to eventually get a nicer one, this one is really good for what I need it for right now. It's got 2 extenders also. When it's both ends put together, it's half a yard. You add 1 extender, it's a yard, and then you add both extenders, it's 2 yards, even though I did read in the review that the 2 yards is actually slightly off. I don't know if it's that case for everyone or if they had one that kind of had like a defect, but it has its purpose, it has its use, and it does that. I have some idea of what I have in yards. It also gets the yarn into a hank. So it works. I also got these little cat paws to go on the ends of the needles to hold the project on. I have some different colors, but I have them just kind of everywhere, so I kind of didn't want to go around and collect them. These are for larger needles, but here's my idea. So you have the circular needles, really nice, but sometimes they're kind of going everywhere and you don't want your project to slip off. So you have the smaller needles, just put both needles in there instead, and it holds the project together and you don't have to worry about it slipping off or one needle being loose or something like that. But it works really well for that. I think that's really cute. Okay, and next are these ginormous pair of scissors. I got these so I can carry them around in my purse. They don't obviously take up too much space. They are absolutely tiny. And they actually are really good scissors. I was surprised seeing how small the blade was, and it's not very pointy on the end either, so it looks like they would be really dull, but they surprisingly aren't. They are really good scissors for yarn, and I think they are just absolutely adorable. Like, I saw somebody else talking about them, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to get me a pair. They are so cute. Okay, so I also have gotten some yarn recently. I got these, which I've shown already. This is for the Dahlia bag. And then I got these two for a pair of mittens that I've been wanting to knit for a long, long time. It's going to be really cute. I'm going to probably knit them fall, winter, so I'll talk more about those later. But I got these for that project. I also got these 9-inch circulars for sock knitting. They're Chalgu. I really, really love this brand of needles. They are my absolute favorite, and I never thought that I would be knitting with metal needles and really enjoying it until I got these needles. They are absolutely wonderful. They are some of my favorites. I'm really enjoying knitting this pair of socks with them. I don't always knit one at a time, but because this one is so detailed, these needles are absolutely perfect for that. So I've really been enjoying these. And moving on to the last part, which is the stack of books, I do have one digital book that I purchased, which is the Spinner's Book of Yarn Designs. And along with spinning, I also found this at a thrift store, and I was really, really excited about this. It is Respect the Spindle. I have heard a lot about this book, and it looks really, really good. So I found this at a thrift store, and I knew I had to get it, and it's one I'm really excited about because I really do enjoy the drop spindle. So learning some more from this, I'm really excited about. I also have a beginner's guide to punch needle. I think it looks like a really, really good book. It's got some cute projects, like look at this little house or this bag. It looks so cute. I really want to get into punch needling. I know just like the tiniest bit, but this looks like a lot of fun, cute little projects. So I'm definitely gonna have to give it a try. Now onto the knitting books, which you might have seen this one and this one if you've watched, I think it was 2 videos ago. I got these at a book sale, but I picked this one up. It's the Knit Simple book of knitting projects for everyone. I think there's a lot of cute little projects in it, but I thought it was a good one for traveling and stuff like that because this wouldn't take up too much space. And some of the projects in here are really smaller projects, and I think that they would also be really good travel projects. So I picked that one up in mind of that. I thought it would be a really good book for that. This is Nordic Knits, 29 stylish small projects, and they are so pretty. Like, look at this vest, or even the scarf that's on the back. Like, there's a lot of pretty projects in here, and I want to knit as many as possible. And a lot of these are color work, and I've really been wanting to get into color work, so I thought that this would be a really good book for that. And then this last one's an older one. It's not the newest designs, but I like some of the older patterns because not everybody's knitting them, and there's still a lot of pretty ones out there. This is Now You're Knitting 165 projects. I thought this looked like a really good book. There's some really cute ones in there. Like, I really, really like this little blanket down here. I thought it was really cute. Or this Afghan right here is really pretty. Are these pillows even? Like, I've been wanting some pillows from a bedroom, so I thought that would be a good one. There's some hats and stuff like that. There's a lot of projects in here, obviously. 165, apparently. But it looked like a really fun book. I also really like collecting pattern books. I think it's a lot of fun because you have the patterns at your hand, right at your hands when you want them. And if somebody's like looking for a certain pattern, it's like, okay, let me look at my collection. I might have a book for that. And this is another really, really good one. And it's also really large print. So it's not like I'm going to have to like really look very closely because there's some project books I feel like you have to. because the print is just so close together. This one is really laid out really nice, so I really like this one. But yeah, I think that is all that I've gotten recently. I can't think of anything else. If I do, I'll throw it in, but I can't think of anything else. But I really, really like these books. I am excited a lot for this one, though. I'm really, really excited for this one. So besides knitting, spinning, I haven't really talked about any crocheting in this video. I definitely need to crochet some more. I have a few projects in mind that I want to pick up, but that's going to probably wait just a little bit until I get some of my knitting projects done as well. I have also been playing some video games recently. I really enjoy them. I've always loved video games. I right now am playing Oblivion, the remastered, and also Minecraft just updated, and I've played Minecraft for years. It was towards the beginning of when it first came out, so beginning of 2010 maybe, and then I also have been playing Stardew Valley. I have one farm that I constantly go back to. It used to be that I would play on one for a while, put it down for a little bit, get bored with it, go back, try to go back to that farm, just too bored with that farm, start a new farm. But right now I actually have a farm that I'm really enjoying, and I keep going back to that one. TV shows, I've been watching Our Unwritten Souls. What is it called? It's on Netflix. Yeah, Our Unwritten Soul. That one's really good. I really like how that one is written. I really like the actors and actresses in it. And then also 9 Puzzles on Hulu. I've been watching that one. Once again, love the actors, love how it's written. Let's see, what else have I been doing? I've been reading some. I'm reading Of Course Swans by Melanie Dickerson. I'm really enjoying that one. That one's really good. I really like her writing. They're YA books, but they're really fun. They're fairy tale. A lot of her series that I enjoy are the fairy tale retelling ones. And I've just really enjoyed those. Those are a lot of fun. But yeah, I really don't know what else I want to talk about in these videos. I am definitely going to change these over time, but they're pretty much going to stay like this knitting podcast. But definitely comment down below what y'all are currently working on. I always love to hear. That's my favorite part of posting videos. And if you enjoy this video, give it a like. And if you are enjoying my channel, definitely subscribe and join our lovely little knitting group here on the internet. And I hope you enjoyed the video. I will see y'all next week. Good night.